Bobby Ingram, Curtis Ennis. Know that we've been loyal way back from the beginning. A trusted source for the news. 79th Halas, what it is, what it do. Since Bobby Ingram, Curtis Ennis. Know that we've been loyal even when we wasn't winning. A trusted source for the news. 79th Halas in your ears, you. Since Bobby Ingram, Curtis Ennis. Know that we've been loyal.
What's up, everybody? It's your boys, Scott and Bang here. Welcome to another edition of 79th Halas, the off-season series, man. This is part 4, the final part of this series. We put together the first 2 parts, me and my brother. Last 2 parts, me and Bang. So yeah, man, we're gonna talk about expectations. Will be a good season for the Bears. But first, follow me at Barberchair Scott on all social media platforms. Follow J.R. Bang at J.R. Bang. Follow the Barberchair Network at Barberchair Net. Subscribe to the channel. All that good shit, man. We appreciate everybody for fucking with us, man. And if you're watching this early, that means you are a Patreon subscriber, and we appreciate you. If you are not, you need to scan this QR code on the screen. It'll take you up to the page where you can pick from any of the multiple tiers we have. You subscribe to the $5 79th Halas tier or the $10 Barbershop Access tier. You get these episodes free. And you know how we do when the season starts. If you miss the stream, you know what I'm saying? You just missed a stream for a couple days, nigga, and you got to subscribe to Patreon and get the episode first. So do all that, man. But me and Bang back at it today. We're going to talk about what is a good season for the Chicago Bears. I think we're entering that part where there's a lot of excitement. People are wondering, this is the part of the year where you can be irrational when it comes to what you hope, just as an NFL fan. That you being irrational lasts a camp report day to literally halftime of week 1. That's usually when reality sets in for most teams. Like, even though the Bears won week 1 against Tennessee, I was in that first half, I'm like, nah, this shit ain't gonna cut it. This is not the offense I was hoping for. This is not what I thought Caleb was gonna look like. So we're gonna be talking about realistic expectations, expectations we want, and we're gonna go over the schedule and things like that. So Bang, we're gonna talk off with selfish expectations. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with stats, realism. Selfishly, what do you want to see from this Bears team in 2025?
Man, that's a loaded ass question.
We have time.
Selfishly, I would like for Caleb to not only get over 4,000 passing yards, I would like to see him get to 4,500. Like, selfishly, I would like for Caleb to be an MVP candidate. At least MVP runner-up. Like, I get so tired of hearing the Chris Cantys and some of these other people talk about Caleb Williams and Jalen Daniels like they're 5-year vets. This thing could turn around quickly for both of them in opposite ways. You got people saying that he's the best quarterback in the NFC. Like, shouts out to Dominique Foxworth. He's like, yo, you still got to do that multiple years. Like, and this is nothing against Jalen Daniels. This is about the talking heads. So selfishly, I hope that Caleb Williams shut them up. I hope that by week 3, he's having a conversation with one of the sideline reporters. Like, yeah, I want him to have a conversation with Kimberly Martin. I want him to have a conversation with Maria Taylor before, like, NFL Sunday, one of these. I want him to talk. We need
friend of the program. We need friend of the program, Taylor Rooks. Yeah, to be doing a Thursday night football interview at Halas.
I want the Taylor Rooks Thursday night football interview where they're talking about last season it was an up and down season for you, but this year you're one of the tops in all this. Like, selfishly, that's what I want. I want Caleb Williams to scorch earth the NFL.
Well, there's a couple things I want selfishly. Because I'm just gonna get it out now because when the season starts, I know all that's not gonna happen. Until proven otherwise. But selfishly, I'm with you. I want Caleb to bust these niggas' ass. I'm tired of the talking, and I'm talking about from the moment. And we talk about Bears tax. not just on 79th and Halas, but I'm not going to hold you. Bears tax. Everybody and their mama wanted Caleb on their team. The absolute second he put that Bears hat on his head, when he walked across that stage downtown Detroit, Michigan, the narrative switched. It was, I don't know, Drake May was always a better day one pick. I want him to kill all that noise. I don't want to hear shit about Jaden Daniels. I don't want to hear shit about CJ Stroud, which I don't think we're going to have to hit that much. CJ got a lot of shit, a lot of explaining to do in this season anyway. But I don't want to hear about Jaden Daniels. I don't want to hear about Drake May. I don't want to hear about Jordan Love. Oh, my God. I'm so tired of people acting like Jordan Love is something that he ain't. I don't want to hear about nothing. I want to hear about when we talk about the NFC North and they doing the morning shows, like you said, and they rank NFC North quarterbacks. He's going to be one. Like, I don't want Jared Goff number one in my division anymore. That's what I want to see from Caleb Williams. I want him to go scorched earth because, honestly, he deserves it. Not only he deserves it, fuck Caleb. We deserve it. As a fan base, we deserve it. The best quarterback in our history is Jay Cutler, and as much as I love Jay. No, that cannot be it. I've seen Russ Grossman throw away a Super Bowl in the rain in Miami. I've seen Chad Hutchinson, play. I've seen Craig Krenzel starting the Thanksgiving game. I've seen it. I've seen Mitchell Trubisky get drafted in front of Patrick Mahomes. I've seen it all. I deserve it. Bang deserves it. We all deserve this. That's the first thing I want. Number two, I want a playoff game. I want a playoff game. It ain't got to be at home. It can be on the road for all I care. I want a playoff game, and I want a playoff win. I don't want what we usually get everything post-2010, where 2010 was the last time that we won a playoff game and won multiple playoff games. Beat the Seahawks. I wasn't noticeable. They won one in 2010. I forgot they got the first round bye. But, yeah, they, beat the Seahawks, got to the NFC Championship game. You had 2018 double doing. You had 2020 when you lost to New Orleans in Drew Brees' final season. I want to see this team, a young team. I want them to do what the 2015 Cubs did. Well, like, they make a nice playoff run and you like, one more year, a couple minor changes, and they're going to be in the Super Bowl next year. That's real. That's selfishly what I want. And I'm going into my fourth year covering this team full time. They have not won 8 games in my entire time coaching this team. If you count all the games that I've covered, bro, I think they've lost 90% of them. I'm pretty sure my math might be off a little bit, but it's at least 85. I want to be able to do more shows off Bears wins. That's what I want. So now, this is where the party isn't so fun. What are your realistic expectations, man, for this season?
My realistic expectations is Caleb throws for 4,000 yards. I think that offensive line is going to be better. I think that the skill positions are going to be better. I think, as you had said in the last show about how his stats with protection are elite, stats without it are not elite. He's going to have more of that. So I believe realistically he could still, like, 4,000 yards should be hittable. I also believe that realistically the Bears should be fighting for a playoff spot late in the season. Like they shouldn't be the and then them in the them section. Like when you're looking at like the top teams that's in the playoffs, the people that are in the running, and then they still alive. But it's technicalities. Like, no, they should not be in that situation.
They need to really be in the hunt, not mathematically alive.
Yeah. There you go. That no mathematically alive situations. I believe that realistically, they will be in the hunt. Not saying that they'll get there, but saying that they will be in the hunt. I think those are realistic expectations. 4,000 yards and being in the hunt.
My realistic expectations is that I think you're going to see a growing offense, but a good offense. I think you're going to see a creative offense. I don't think that this is going to be something that we're just obviously with the Lions for these last 2 years right away. I think that takes time, not just because of the different personnel that the Bears have compared to what the Lions have, but also a much younger quarterback than the Lions have. And also there's a difference between play calling and being a head coach. And I think that's a learning curve that Ben Johnson's going to have himself. I don't think enough people are talking about. Like, yeah, you can be a great offensive coordinator, but can you be a head coach? And so with all the new talent that he's got, the pressure is going to be on right away. We don't know the exact contract details, but we do know he's one of the highest paid players in the NFL, one of the highest paid coaches in the NFL already. So he's going to have to live up to that. So I would say my realistic expectation is that you're going to see a smooth offense. You're going to see, I think, a consistent offense, I think, is a realistic expectation. Not nothing that's got to be super flashy, but consistent and makes sense. How many times we watch games, we're like, that fucking play doesn't make any sense. That's what I think I'm going to say. Go ahead.
Nah, I agree with you. I'm not trying to put the world on everybody's shoulders on Halas Hall by saying that the Bears are going to go 13 and be 13-0 within week 14. Like, I'm not about to do all of that. But at the same time, you have a track record with the head coach. Like, you have a good track record there. And it's not just about the head coach, it's about the staff. This is a well put together staff. One of the best staffs I've seen in quite some time for the Chicago Bears. A lot of young energy, a lot of OG energy, and a lot of people that's going after it. It's a lot of challenging that's going to be out there. And I'll say it again. The Bears, when you look at their losses last year, yeah, that was some joints, especially towards the end of the year when you started to see changes and stuff. But the Bears could have won 7-8 games last season. And the year before that, they could have been a playoff team. This team is not as far off as people make them to be. They just need quality coaching and challenging players. And I think you got that with Ben Johnson, his coaching staff, and the players.
Yeah, I think that's been the biggest thing. Like you said, we've always been saying coaching was the issue. The other realistic thing is 100% what you said. In the hunt. Like, they don't even have to make the playoffs for me to be, okay, that was a good season. They got to have a chance to actually clinch going into week 18. So, like, even if it's, okay, we win and then, like, I don't know, Tampa loses. Not we win, Tampa loses, Minnesota win, Washington ties. Like, no, like a very simple equation. You know what I'm saying? That's what I need. And I think that's a realistic expectation. And I think that's the talk all through Halas Hall, that this isn't the thing when we look at it and we're like, oh, well, you know, if they like 7 wins, no, it's time to win now, bro. It's time to win now. And not only if Caleb has that great season, time is ticking off his rookie deal, nigga. So you want to win right now. So those are my realistic expectations for them: a consistent offense and actually being in the hunt when it comes to the playoffs. Now I want to go over the schedule a little bit. I want to go over the winnable must-have games, like the games that, you know, every season. I don't care what sport it is. You win the games you're supposed to win, and you go at least 500 against the tough opponents. So I'm looking at the schedule right now. The home schedule is Minnesota, Dallas, New Orleans, Giants, Steelers, Browns, Packers, Lions. Away schedule: Lions, Raiders, Commanders, Ravens, Bengals, Vikings, Eagles, Packers, Niners. Much tougher road schedule. To me, the winnable games, even though they are division games and you got to throw everything out the fucking window of division games, until J.J. McCarthy showed me both of them games. Like, you got to go into week 1 and make a fucking statement. Like, let's not have the Colin Kaepernick debut on Monday Night Football making Brian Urlacher and them look old. I don't want to start up I wake up Tuesday morning and first take, and I got to hear Stephen A. say, J.J. McCarthy is a rough rider. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I want to hear how this defense put them in the dirt, and Caleb showed you what time this is. So to me, that's a winnable game. That game you got to take care of. The Raiders, I know that they've gotten somewhat better this year. That's a winnable game, bro. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that one. Dallas, you got Dallas week 3 at the crib. You gotta handle that after 2 back-to-back division games, one at home, one on the road. You gotta handle that. That to me is a winnable game there as well. Trying to see who else, like the Giants. Oh, you cannot lose to the New York Giants at home. Coming off the back-to-backs against Cincinnati and Baltimore on the road, and then you got Minnesota the next week. You've got to take that game. The Giants, you can't let whoever they decide to throw a quarterback, whoever they got. I know they got like 3 fucking quarterbacks out there. Whoever they got started, you cannot allow it whatsoever. So you got to do that. The Cleveland Browns, the sorry ass Cleveland Browns, another winnable game that you got to take care of. And I noticed this is my hot take for the game. Bang. This is my hot take for the pod. I know this is not really quote unquote winnable. You gotta get your lick back in Washington. I'm sorry. You gotta get your lick back in Washington. After all the bullshit that we had to endure after that loss last year, you gotta get your lick back. So to me, those are games that to me are going to make or break the season, in my opinion, for the Bears. For you, what's some of your must-win or winnable games on the schedule?
So I separated some of these games are must-win and winnable games. Some of these are must-win. Some of these are winnable. So I'll start with the winnable games. I'm only going to put the first game against the Vikings because I don't know what happens after that. But that first game is a very winnable game, followed by the Raiders game. One game that you missed, the New Orleans Saints. They better win that game.
You are correct on that. I forgot about the fucking Saints.
Yeah, they better win that game. I don't give a shit what's going on. They should be 1-0 now. Like, that's how much this team, I believe, is going to be terrible. They should be 1-0 now. All right, every team that plays them should just pencil in 1 by that.
It should say Bears. It should say Bears 10, Saints nothing. We got 11 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah, like I don't know New Orleans' schedule, but they could definitely be the worst team in the NFL this season when it's all said and done. And if Arch Manning has a season that everybody's starting to think he's going to have, with the first pick of the NFL draft, the New Orleans Saints select Arch Manning for the Manning family.
Going back home, the Manning family.
Granddaddy.
Yeah.
Granddaddy. The Giants game, the Cleveland game, those are the games I believe that's winnable. Now, when you add the M to it, the must-wins to it, the Vikings' first game of the year is a must-win because of that goddamn book and everything that Caleb family said.
I almost forgot about the book. You're right about that.
Yeah. That Washington game to me is a must-win. That is a must-win. I don't know if it's a winnable game, but it is a must-win for the Bears. The New Orleans game is a must-win because you must win those games, and the last thing you want to do is take a L to the Commanders and then take another L to the Saints. That's back-to-back losses against one team that but you have history with, but the next team you should just demolish. So if they lose that, or even win the Commanders game and then lay an egg, that is the week 7 is nigga don't lay an egg. No matter what happens the game before, don't lay an egg. The San Francisco 49ers game to me is a must-win game. It's a must-win game because I believe, matter of fact,
even
that Cleveland's
as bad as they play them.
Yes, because look, week 16, 15, 16, and 17, right? You got the Browns, winnable game. You got San Francisco and you got Detroit. Those 3 games could very well potentially make or break you come playoff time. So those last 3 games of the year are all must-win games. I classify those as must-win games more than I classify the Green Bay Packers game right before the Cleveland game. Because, again, you can lose that Green Bay game and still win those last 3 and possibly get into the playoffs. So those are must-wins to me.
I'm going to open up my crystal ball real quick. and say another not winnable, but must-win game. I just see this being important. Week 18 at home, Detroit. That's I feel like I would be stunned if that's not an important game. I just feel like it's gonna be an important game. Even let's just say our best case scenario happens and we clinch early, right? That's gonna be an important game for Detroit. It would, Ben Johnson would love nothing more than to send their ass home last week of the season at the crib. I can't remember the last time they had a Week 18 game at home. We're usually either in Minnesota, like it's been the last couple of years, or in Green Bay. That is going to be an important game, and I would even bet a nice amount of change that that's going to be the Sunday Night Football game. Like, I don't know what else the Week 18 schedule looks like, but if both of these teams have the seasons that a lot of people are expecting to do, that's going to be an important game. At home, division game against a team that has been running this division the last couple of years. So I'm just going to open up my crystal ball and say that's going to be another must-win. So there's a couple things left here on this episode. This episode is not as long as the others, but looking at the schedule, and I'm looking at it right now, I want to go over our final predictions as we have this. And, we're probably going to go more in depth in this again when we do that. I'm not going to hold you. Season, which we're going to have a funny dedication to how bad our picks were last year. But I think, to me, when we talk about record-wise, what's a good season, I'm personally expecting this team to go 9-8. 8-9 wouldn't piss me off, depending on the situation, why that one loss happened. I think 9-8 is the one I would accept. But the ceiling is a lot higher. You can sell me on if things have go really, really well 13. You can sell me on 12 if everything goes according to schedule. But for me to finish that season, like what day is that? To me to finish that, for me, when I wake up on January 5th, 2026, for me to feel good about this Bears season, I need at least 9 wins in the win column. And that is going to be my final prediction, because if you look at the schedule, and I don't really like doing the tough game, easy game type thing, but this is a very tough, not just a very tough schedule, it's a very tough road schedule, which the Bears were terrible on last year. Of course, you got your 3 division teams. You're going to be going to Lambeau Field. You're going to be going to US Bank. You're going to be going to Ford Field. But you got to go to M&T Bank Stadium to take on Lamar Jackson. You got to go to Cincinnati to take on Burrow. Philadelphia. When the last time we played in Philly, last couple times we played in Philly, we got smacked up. Wasn't even close.
The electric slide.
The electric slide. You know what I'm saying? In Philadelphia. Black Friday, Amazon, prime time. That's a tough game. And I'm not putting that much on the Steelers this year. But anytime, that's another must win. I'm going to hit 2 points with one with this one. On all of my dead relatives, if we let this motherfucker, Aaron Rodgers, walk into Soldier Field for the final time, on November 23rd and walk out with a victory, I will never forgive every man on that fucking field. This is our last chance to get a semblance of revenge. He pretty much all but said this is going to be his final season. One thing that makes my heart smile with Brett Favre, despite the fact that he kicked our ass for majority of his time as a Green Bay Packer, it's the fact that we're the ones who sent him into retirement. And not anybody else. We did. Shout out to Corey Wooden. When I did the CHGO podcast a couple months ago, I thanked him for being the one to knock out Brett Favre. I need it more than I need air to breathe. So that's another must win. But it goes back to what I was saying about my road schedule. There's road games that you got to win. Vegas. Don't get caught up. To me, that's kind of trap gaming. And the reason I say it's kind of trap game because I don't, that's a team that could be a lot better than they were last year, but it's also the Raiders. Maybe they won't be. You know what I'm saying? Is Pete Carroll washed up? But coming after 2 division games and a home game against the Dallas Cowboys, and it's the game before your bye week and the rematch against Washington, looks kind of trap gamey to me. So more than anything, win your road games. Win your road games, and I think it'll even out. My final prediction, 9-8. 9-8. I think they're going to finish second. I think they're going to finish second in the division. I do think Detroit is going to win again until proven otherwise. And I'm cautiously optimistic, but more than anything, I'm waiting to see. Because one thing that we've learned, not just with the Bears, but in the NFL, and I think they really highlight this when you watch quarterback. The first eight weeks of the season are damn near a lie. And what I mean by that is you don't really know what teams are good until around Thanksgiving. We've seen teams start 4-2, 5-1, and them niggas are nowhere to be found come Christmas. If the Bears are playing good football around Thanksgiving time, then I'll start to believe. But we've got to get to that point for me to believe that. And this is not me being pessimistic. You know, I'm not pessimistic. I'm being logical with this team. And I think the fan base in general, I felt last year when I did the tailgate, and I'm going to do the tailgate vibe check before week 1 on Monday Night Football as well. And it felt like everybody, some people were still holding on to Justin Fields, and other people was like, well, we've been here before, let's see. I really think all of the fan base, like, we have the tools, let's go out and get it. So, Bang, what's your schedule prediction? And, you know, if there's any games on here that you like, do you have any, like, notes or whatever, like any advice you would give the team for the stuff schedule?
This is a 9-10 win team on paper right now. Again, I think that back half, and I mixed it up a little bit. I forgot the second Green Bay game. But still, that Cleveland, Green Bay, San Francisco, Detroit series of games, I think, is going to determine whether they go to the playoffs or not. And I do have that looking pretty good for the Bears. But if I were to pull a game out and say it is important, I actually pull out 3. First and foremost, and this is I don't think as crazy as this may sound, I'm talking about from a mental standpoint. I don't think that the division games are more important than the three games that I'm going to pull out right here. Number 1 is the Washington game because of what happened last year. And at the place that it happened, like they're going back to D.C. I think that is a statement game, a potential statement game. The statement game that Caleb wanted to have last season. If you guys don't know, because I was living in D.C. at the time, Caleb Williams may have had one of the greatest comeback games in the history of DC sports. And it was a Hail Mary in a high rivalry game.
That's when the legend of Caleb Williams began.
That's when the legend of Caleb Williams began. So you lose to Jaden Daniels by Hail Mary. I think that Caleb needs to make a statement. That is a game to make it, to prove that you are on par, if not better, than the person that was picked after you. The Baltimore game. I don't know about the Cincinnati game because Cincinnati defense ain't shit. Even though I
think it's more about not letting your defense get sent to hell by Joe Burrow.
Exactly. Yeah. And I got that pegged as a lot. But that Baltimore game, if you can go to Baltimore.
Ooh, the Roquan factor too. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Roquan,
go to Baltimore and win, that shows this team is ready to go to a Super Bowl contenders home and defeat them. In the San Francisco game, because we traditionally don't do well when we go out there. If we could go out there late in the season and win, depending on where we're at as far as the record goes, that'd be a lot of confidence going up against Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers and beating them on the road. I think those 3 are vital for the Bears' confidence to get it back against the Commanders, to show that you can be a playoff contender when it comes to the Ravens, and to show that you could go up and uncharted waters and defeat this team that's been whooping your ass in this place late in the season, which may be a determining factor of playoff seeding or just for you to get in the playoffs in the first place.
So you're going with 10 wins that's your prediction? Or
9-10 for right now.
I
have
just
9-10 wins.
For right now. Yeah. So are you on the 9 side? You pick a 10? Okay. I think that's
right now pick a 10. Pick a 10. It's really dependent on some of those games I'm talking about. Can you go into Cincinnati and defeat a team without a defense? Can you win the winnable games in your division? Caleb Williams is his last game he played, he defeated the Green Bay Packers. Is Jordan Love really it? These teams seem to be more close than the other teams, depending on how you looked at how everything shaked out last year. So, I mean, what does that look like? And then you have Super Bowl contenders. I don't consider the Bengals to be a Super Bowl contender right now, even though I'm a Bengals fan. But you got Baltimore. But you got Baltimore and Pittsburgh. That could very well be the Super Bowl this year. Like, that could very well be the Super Bowl. Philly versus Baltimore. That could very well be the Super Bowl coming up. And you got two clear Super Bowl contenders. Top 5 quarterbacks, somebody might say, that you're going up against this season. Not getting blown out by Philadelphia and having a good game, a presentable game against the Ravens could go a long way.
Win your QB duels. Okay, look, we got a lot of QB duels on deck this year. Win your QB duels. Final question I got for you, because I've already answered this one here. As we start training camp, and if you're watching this, because we recorded this early, training camp report day is tomorrow, or if you're on Patreon, it's tomorrow. If you're on the live feed, it starts today. What are you expecting? Like, what do you want me to be coming into the chat telling y'all for the next month with this team with training camp?
Competition. I want to know about the competition. Like you said, Ben Johnson said ain't no depth chart. I want to know what that competition looks like in specific areas. I want to know what that tight end. I mean, Colston Loveland won't be healthy enough, but does Cole Kmet look better? Like, does he look better? How does that running back competition looks like? How does that offensive line look like? What is Ruben Hippolyte doing? How the defensive backs playing? Like, does Jaquan Brisker look like the player that we felt like he could be before the concussions? That's what I want to hear. I want to hear about that competition. I want to hear. I want to see people like, yo, I see them footsteps, or ain't nobody messing with me. That's what I want to see or hear from you.
Definitely. Well, you guys going to get a lot of content because I'm going to be recording a lot of content. Report day, Ryan Poles, not Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson will be speaking. And then the first practice is the 23rd, man. So we're going to be holding it down on 79th Halas and the Barbershop Network this entire time, leading up to week 1. Monday Night Football at the crib against the Minnesota Vikings, man. So for Bang, for myself, you can follow me at Barberchair Scott on all social media platforms. Follow Bang at JR Bang. Subscribe to the Patreon, do all that good stuff. It's time. It's time to start some football, man. So we're going to get into it. We about it.